Okay, Kimmy, I always ask everyone to sing me a Chartless theme song, so you just gotta sing something for us now.
I keep on falling.
Into Chartless.
With you, sometimes I love you. Sometimes you make me blue.
Welcome to Chartless. I am here with world-renowned vocalist, songwriter, recording artist, Kimi.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Mel. Appreciate it.
I'm proud to say that I am Kimi's vocal coach.
Mm-hmm.
So you're welcome, world.
Exactly. You're welcome.
I think we have kind of a big announcement today, my friend.
Yes. You ready? I love the heartbeat.
Okay, tell us what's going on with you. What's the big news in your universe?
We are going to Albania. We're going to Albania with Mel.
And that's right, folks. He said we.
Exactly.
Do you know the Neil Diamond song, We're Coming to America?
Yes.
Okay, so I left a message for my best friend. After I decided to go, and we'll tell you this whole story in just a second. But I called my friend and I left her a message, and I was like, everywhere around the world, I'm going to Albania. And she said she was listening to that going, did she have a stroke? Like, those are not the words. And she was like thinking to herself, I'm pretty sure she's not going to Albania. Like, that makes no sense.
Oh, yes, friend. She's going to Albania.
I'm going to Albania. And not only that, but I'm going to Albania to do the work that I love with an artist that I love. So tell us, why am I going to Albania?
You are going to Albania because you are amazing at what you do. First things first, okay? I mean it. And we are going to Albania because I am competing for Eurovision Song Contest. Hopefully, my country will be smart enough to choose me.
Yes.
And we're going to have a lot of work to do and a lot of chabapa to eat.
A lot of what?
Chabapa, which is my favorite Albanian food.
Have I had that yet?
You've had that when we went to this restaurant, Chakachalu, in Manhattan.
Which dish was it?
Oh, it was the one with the meat, like the one like that it's like rolled with like a bit of like cheesy thing.
So good. That doesn't narrow it down. I feel like everything we had was meat with some cheese.
Meat. What's the next dish? Meat. What's the other one? Meat with cheese.
And then there was cheese with bread. And then there were some dip things though that were like so amazing. Okay, so I'm very excited for the food. Let's talk about this for a minute because my American listeners don't really know much about Eurovision unless they watch the Will Ferrell movie about Eurovision, which still is, that's a comedy that doesn't really show the artist's real journey. So you and I are working together here in New York, but you are originally from, let's start there. Where are you originally from?
So I'm Albanian from Kosovo.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so talk to us about what you have to do to be selected to compete just for your country, because that's the first step. So I know about that because I was here, and Skip, who's producing our podcast episode today, he's involved in this story as well. So
the dangerous guy.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about your decision to do it and sort of the song and all of that.
Yeah, so we're going to Albania first because it's the festival where a lot of artists compete, and then Albania will choose one of the artists to be represented to Eurovision, which it's going to be in Vienna next year. Eurovision is basically one singer from each country competes, and then whoever wins, they will get to host the festival in that country. Yeah, it's kind of an excited festival. It's a lot of I would say a bit of stress, but it's good. I've been wanting this for years. I was actually 15 years old when this dream started about Eurovision.
Let's talk about the song.
The song, as you know, because we worked together, at first was an English version. And then all of a sudden, I did not know that we have to do it in Albanian. So, but we made it work, which I'm very happy.
And what is the song about? The song is called, hang on, Prap Dielli.
Exactly. Prap Dielli.
The only thing I so far know how to say in Albanian, but that will change. Before we go. I am going to learn. I'm going to learn some more. But what does that mean? And talk to us about the song, because it is different for a Eurovision submission, I think. And I know that it's incredibly beautiful. The lyrics in Albanian, the translation, it's just stunning. So tell us a little bit more about that, please.
Thank you very much, Mel. I appreciate you. The song name is Prap Dielli, which means the sun will rise again. It's interesting how this whole Albanian song was written. It's my first Albanian song I've ever written. And the story behind it, how I ended up writing it, it's just so beautiful. I feel like it's like in the movies. The song, it's very hope. It's much hope. It's a lot of pain in it, strength and past, but then it's also a brighter future, I would say. As you know, at first I wrote the song in English, and in a very short notice, I've been notified that I have to be writing the song in Albanian to perform in Albania, and it was like a very short notice, and I was like stressing out so much. And that day, I actually was at the airport when I wrote the song, and I reached out to you as well. So I was like, "Holy shoot! I don't know anyone that I could write the song in Albanian with." And then my flight got delayed. So I was like, every time I go back to Albania, when I come back to America, I get my mom's shirt. Because I'm like, okay, I could smell it. And like every time I feel sad, I could sleep with it.
Aww.
Yeah. And it's just like, I hold on to that. And like, that's hope, So at that moment, I was like so nervous. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. Like, I don't know. I don't have the lyrics right. I don't have money. I'm broke. Basically, I don't have money to pay for all that because it's tough. So then I see my shirt that I'm wearing and that's yellow. And then I'm like, holy, why don't we just start in being real about everything we went through and just show up for people who don't have a voice, out there. And because there's so many people that struggle, right? And then it just started with Dielli because the color of yellow, sun. And then it's just like the words were coming on my mind and I'm like just writing and writing and writing. And then I was crying because at some point I just realized that I have come so far, and I was so proud and I'm like, okay, let's cry now. But it's basically just showing up for people. It's really personal. It's really personal to me because every word I've said on the song, I've lived it all, and I wanted to share the story with people. I want them to take it and hold it and use it as, to speak up for themselves and to know that there will be light. The light is somewhere out there. You just got to go out there and find it and never give up.
Can you translate, say it in Albanian first, please, but can you translate that section of the second verse about the bicycle?
Oh, yeah. So it goes like, I'm going to say it in Albanian first.
Sure. You can sing it, you don't even, I wouldn't mind.
Thank you. So it goes like, Tash-ki mundsi me bo krejt qa dona mote nuk jesi për para. Biciklin që dikur ndër e ki pas mundesh me ble po vet s'po t'lembara. Which means now you have everything and you can do anything that you always wanted. But the pain inside you, it's not letting you. You don't know because you always wanted to do that when the time felt right when you were a child, because there's something that we always want, but if you don't have it, you don't have it, and now when you grow up, it reminds you of the past and you don't feel right, And then the other second line is the bike that you always wanted. Now you can have it. You can buy it because you have the money, but you just can't do it because you feel scared to ride it in a way,
There's a metaphor for so many things. Is it fear of freedom, fear of success, fear of trying and failing and falling down?
I feel like it's a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of afraid of being who you are, afraid of living the life, afraid of eating a lot of food, When I was young, I have, we're 6 siblings, by the way. We're 6 kids. I have 3 sisters and 2 brothers. We were a huge family, like, we didn't have much after coming from war to Albania back to our homes, I would say, which we didn't have one.
Well, can I pause there for a second?
Sure, of course.
You glossed over that.
Yes.
Like, the wars and not really having homes okay. Give us a little bit of that history sort of.
Yeah.
And how that affected your life.
Well, I'm a war child. Let's start there. I was born during the wartime. Yeah. My mom was like running for her life and just giving birth to me.
What?
Yes. And then like all the trauma and all that, like, sleeping in the mountains for like days. And it was just like, as when they explained it to me, like every day, because the electricity goes off in Albania very often, especially it did while I was living there. And every time, like during night, we would light a candle and we'd like, just like, gather together and like, we would want to know about the life that they had. Because I always wanted to know my parents, what they went through. And my mom would explain everything and my dad. And it's just like when they explained all this 2 years of their life from 1997 till 1999, it's scary. I used to get like a lot of goosebumps and I'm hugging my mother as she's speaking because you could see the fear and the trauma in their eyes, the things that they went through. And it's just like, they said that they didn't even had, like milk for us. And I have a cousin where we're the same age and they had to go through like the bullets and the things that they were like flying in there just to go like and try to get, like milk anywhere that they could find, water and like flour so they could cook food and make something just to basically to survive. And it was like very hard times. My mom actually got super traumatized and PTSD from that. And
sure.
And then I've seen that growing up, because after I was like 5-6 years old, my mother like couldn't walk anymore. And like she was having those like, episodes and the New Year is when they usually fireworks and stuff like that. She gets very scared.
Sure.
And for me, it was like just hearing their story. It would like, oh my God, I would be like, it's sad that people have to go, that they have to go through it. Cause it's like, what's life? Life is about to live and not about to like go through tough times,
So what was it like when you were growing up, like your childhood memories? What was the area like where you grew up, sort of like post-war?
So after we came back from home, so we used to, my dad told me that they used to have like this huge house where his brothers and us, we all lived in the family before war. And after the war happened, they bombed the houses of every Albanian families. And after that we came, there was no houses and we just like, basically we tried to like sleep everywhere we could. So they had this, I don't know how to say this in English, but there's this place where we used to keep the cows inside. And then that's where we slept for like 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And my grandma from my dad's side, she slept in a truck for like 2 years, which is like when my dad used to tell me this, like
an abandoned truck?
Yes. Like they got that. And then there were cows sometimes in like countrysides and they would just like get it and like milk that and like feed us in the best way possible just to like survive. And when they tell me that, that's like, it was interesting, but I remember I have a glimpse of a memory where like we started building our first houses and like other people would help each other. People that migrated in America or Europe, they would start like sending money, and America helped Kosovo a lot, and I was so excited to have my first house, It was so beautiful. And that's like the moment where I remember my mom a bit like walking, but it was just like a slight, like it's like dreamy. I remember her like beautiful black and red dress that I will never forget. And that's it, then that's where everything started happening. We ate basically old potatoes and rice almost every day because we did not have that luxury of like having everything. And going back to where I said about my siblings, we used to have like this salami that would count pieces. Okay, we're going to have 4 pieces each, like sliced thin pieces of everything. And my dream back then was like, I hope that one day I get to make money and buy my own salami and eat it without even cutting it, slice it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I have that. And that's the song. It's about the things that we always wanted were like little things, but now I have it. But It's like I feel bad because back then I did not have it, but that felt right. And it was just the sharing. It was love, and I was feeding enough in a way, But now it's like I have the chance to fill my stomach, but I can't because it doesn't feel right,
Ugh,
you know?
yeah.
But it was hard, Mel, growing up in something like in no house and like basically surviving. It was really hard, and it affected me. It affected my family, but it also affected a lot of thousands of Albanians,
Sure.
which they still don't have their own families who are lost and they never found them. And it's really sad. It was really sad.
When were you first aware of American music, and when did that dream hit you of coming over here?
There's this thing that my mom used to say every time we couldn't sleep during the wartime because of the grenades and bullets and the noises of like the war. She would say, we would ask her to sing to us so we could fall asleep. And she said there was no song coming to my mind. And there's something that she created. It was Oj båt, oj Evrop, ndihmoj Kosovë së shkret, a përbes marum krejt. Which means like she was calling the world, she was calling the Europe to help Kosovo because everyone's suffering. And according to her, we would fall asleep. And she said that she would sing to me because my mom had a beautiful voice, by the way. Everyone told me tells me actually that I sounded like her in a way. And since I remember myself, I always loved music. And for some reason, I always loved music. I grew up with Whitney Houston, even though I never understood what she was saying in every song.
So Whitney Houston was a big one?
That was a star, Whitney
Yeah.
Houston, and it was Beyonce, and it was Michael Jackson and Prince. I enjoyed their songs, even though I never understood anything. But then growing up, I was, feeling it, the music, because I feel like music is a universal language. Like,
For sure.
you don't need to understand the lyrics. It's like you have to feel it,
Yes.
But then watching America's Got Talent and American Idol, X Factor, The Voice, it was like, I feel I belong there. And I always felt like I own America to be here. I felt like I need to be here and I need to share my story and to be grateful in the best way possible to this country.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And then do you want to talk about your experience on American Idol?
Oh, yeah. I mean, this whole thing started with American Idol, It's an amazing platform, I would say. I tried 5 years in a row to be part of it. And for some reason, every year was something that was missing, a puzzle. I was like, this year, I don't have the right voice for it. And the next year, I was like, maybe I'm too skinny. The next year, I was like, I'm too depressive as heck, and I don't look good for that show. Okay, not that I did not want to go, but they didn't accept me,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I mean, it is what it is. I have this thing about me that 99% maybe I would be disappointed, but there's 1% of hope that I always hold on to that. And that's the strongest, for me, I see that as 100%. So for me, I was like, okay, next year, but I was like, next year, So in 2023, it was the time where I got accepted. And funny enough, my first audition went terrible. I was sick. And then I got in the room with the main lady she's the one who says, you're accepted to sing in front of Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan. And then she says, I'm sorry, but we will send you an email. So if she says that means you're not through. And I knew it. I was like, after 5 years, I did not make it again. What do I do? And then all of a sudden I see this post on Instagram and it says that it's the last audition, which it was called Last Chance Audition. It was like literally 2 weeks after I tried it. I apply. And I sing the song Heal by Tom Odell. And then she says, you again. And I said, yes, that's me again. And she goes like, what makes you do it again? And I'm like, because I think you got me wrong. I think you didn't see the struggle, the pain in my voice. You didn't see how hard and how hard I worked in my life to achieve this, to be part of this show. So I made this joke and I told her, so you don't see me as an idol just because I'm not American? And she goes like, oh, you're in. So I got in, and then after that, I went to Los Angeles and I got the chance to sing in front of them. And it was so beautiful because at the moment when I opened the door to walk towards the judges, it was so beautiful that for a moment, I felt like a 5-year-old Kimi that always wanted to be there. And at that time, I was like, you know what? You're just a human being. They're humans and you're going to kill it, you know? But I cried. Like,
I've seen the footage. The footage is available.
yes. Don't go. Don't watch
No,
it.
it's good. It's good.
Thank you. But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like my audition, not to be cocky, because don't like to sound like that. I hate giving compliments to myself, but I feel like it's so powerful for people to, the message is there. You know, there were so many other singers out there that they sang way better than me, I would say. But I feel like the message is for you to not give up and just keep going, no matter how many times you fall on the ground. The most important thing is just to stand up again and again and again and again and again and again until you get there, because you will. I mean, the most important thing is that you are willing to do it again, and that's success.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's not falling, it's getting up.
Exactly. It's like getting up. Falling, it's a part of the process.
Sure.
And it's a journey, and it's, it starts with there, and I feel like it's a blessing sometimes when you fall, because what if you get it wrong? I'd rather fall so I could see mistakes. I could see things that I have to change on myself and be like, no, I don't want to go to the next step of my life if I'm doing it wrong. No.
Yeah. Plus, then you get to write songs like, I keep on falling.
Exactly.
Skip, would you like to sit down?
Oh, Skip, come on. No, you're going to take 1,000 takes standing up, man. This man ruined my life. I'm joking. Actually, he's not coming to Albania, and I'm like very sad.
I was just going to ask you about this, though, because obviously you guys don't even know the depth of the conversations that Kimi and I have.
Oh, yeah.
about all of this and life and music, etc. But I would love to talk with you a little bit more now about your artistic journey, getting to know yourself outside of these lovely experiences, right? Getting to have some time with American Idol. Now, Eurovision, which I know is something that, you dreamed of as a child. And I know it means a lot to your family back home. And I'm so excited to see the country and be a part of this with you. But I also know that you are already looking ahead for beyond this particular event in your life to really build music that says what you want to say.
Yes.
And is not necessarily meant for a television show, and certainly isn't meant for like the competitive world. You want to, not to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like you really want freedom now to express what you want to say musically. And you do have a producer and co-writer in Skip.
Yes, the best.
to help with some of this. But yeah, so where does that drive come from, and where do you see yourself going musically now?
Mel, to be honest, it's interesting because my whole life, it feels like I've missed something and I always seeked. And I think that was love. Not that I didn't have it from my family. It just feels like the way I was giving it, I didn't receive it, because I feel like as a person, even as a kid, I always supported people no matter what. Like, I never cared about what you do. I just supported you and I loved you for who you are because I wanted you to be part of my life. That's important to me.
And now you're done with that. You're not gonna love people anymore.
No, I feel no. I always, there's always hope in me. There's always hope. I told you, I always hold on to hope. I believe in people. I believe in change, and I believe in love. And I think these three things are really powerful. The things that can change you. I'm all about people, and this is why I do this. But there has come this time after trying so hard in my life where I lost myself. Yes. And it's really important for, sometimes in life you can lose people and you can lose everyone, and it's sad, and it's hard, but losing yourself, it's one of the worst things that can happen to you, because if you lose yourself, what's the point of having people around you? Tell me,
I just want to sit with that. Yeah. Losing yourself is one of the worst things that can happen to you.
Exactly.
And it happens so often.
It does.
In the music industry.
It does.
Yes.
But you know what's important? it's not what happens to you, it's how you perceive them and how you work with them. For me, I think I needed to be lost in order to be found, because
Hmm.
that's the thing that I love about New York, even though it's in the beginning, I had this love hate relationship kind of thing with New York, because New York was like throwing things at me and it was like, dude, you cannot fit here because you need to realize this thing about yourself. This is who you are. This is what you do. This is what you went through. When are we going to do something about it?
Mm.
I cannot have you in New York. New York is one of the strongest city and brightest city ever in the world. So for me, it was like I have been lost for a couple of years. It started when I was 21, 2 years after I moved to America. And it was the worst time of my life. And even in music, it's like it just stopped and I couldn't do anything. And I was depressive and anxious and that. And I'm like pressuring myself what to do and like forcing and do things for people. And, you cannot do this and you have to show up in a different way to be accepted from the society. And, oh, no, this, oh, no, that, and etc. But then there was that point where I was like, no, we have to sit. We have to sit and talk with ourselves and find what's wrong with me.
Mm.
Um,
And when you came here, did you speak any English?
no, I
Oh,
did not. I
geez.
thought I did, but it was like just like, hi, how are you? My name is Kimi. What next?
Prap Dielli.
Prap Dielli,
Yeah,
exactly.
the extent for me. Yeah.
But then I started basically. I've learned English with working in restaurant business, and like I worked different kind of jobs. I worked at pizzeria and I worked construction and everything,
Hmm.
basically to keep my soul and dreams alive. But then yeah, I started working. At that time, I started actually having seizures. Music stopped, and
Wow.
yeah, it was terrible. I don't know how I made it through this 5 years of my life, which I never thought I will. I was in that dark place where I was afraid of the day's light. I wanted to go to sleep and I was afraid of waking up because I wanted to be part of life, but I didn't want it to live the life the way I was living it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it was like waking up every day and going to work and couldn't make it and leaving work just because I couldn't face people anymore. And I didn't know what was the cause and anything. But I think finally I have realized everything. And it's just like you don't always heal. It's you find a way of living with it in a better way possible. And I realized that you cannot make people happy. Not always.
Not always.
Not always, and that's fine. People have different perceptions of life. They think different, and it's okay. For me, it's for as long as I am comfortable in my own skin. That's what matters.
And are you comfortable in your own skin now?
I am. I would say I am, and I love myself, and I'm so proud of what I've gone through and how I worked with those things and how because I'm here. I've had suicidal thoughts and I was almost there, because I did not want to deal with these things, but I was strong enough to keep going. And I said, no, we have to, you know? So I'm proud because I'm here and I'm talking to you right now and I'm sharing this story. And probably there's going to be one person out there who's going to be, take this very close and then it will make them keep going. And then this whole thing, it's me. It made me me. And now I want to put this whole thing into music and to
Yeah,
share it.
I do.
So that's the most important thing. It's a journey, it's a journey. It was really hard at that time, but now it's just, if you sit down and we talk about this, it's just like the beauty of it, that the outcome and this persona that I am right now, that I'm living so free, it's beautiful.
Does this experience with Eurovision, is it at all stressful? Does it bring up any of this older stuff of like, am I worth it? Can I handle it? Does the visibility freak you out at all?
It does. It does a bit actually. And I'm a little bit stressed out because back home, I feel like the Balkan people in Europe sometimes it's this kind of mentality, not only Albania, but the whole Balkan. It's the mentality of like, oh, but you have to do something where like people, it's the society, you cannot do things just because you're feeling comfortable. You're going to make others uncomfortable. And that's
It's
wrong.
like a stricter
Yes,
sort of
it is
social
like,
thing.
oh, but no, but our neighbors. Oh, but no, but your brother. It's like you have to do things for what's going to make your family comfortable with, is the reputations,
Right.
the traditions,
Right.
I don't go with that anymore. No. No, that's not going to get me anywhere, and it's not going to get anyone anywhere. You
Yeah.
have to be you have to do you. And then
Right.
people who want to stay, they want to stay. People who don't want to stay, they don't want to stay. But I am going a bit hard on myself, but then at the same time, I love it. I'm going to keep the emotions, because if you don't feel emotional, that means you're not doing something right. So I'm going to go on the stage with that past, with that everything I went through, because my performance that I'm trying to do, it's to bring change into people's lives.
It seems like the response so far online from like Albanian fans has been pretty positive. I mean, I'm seeing like fan accounts and stuff dedicated to like get Kimi to Eurovision.
Yes, I know. It's been really, really, really supporting. And I'm so excited. I feel like I was just scared a bit, because I was like, oh my God, how are they going to take this song? It hasn't been released yet, and I don't know how they're going to, understand it. But I think they're going to relate to it, because I feel like the lyrics is super raw, human, natural, and it's everything I've said in the song. I feel like most of the Albanians lived it, and it's the immigrants as well that we don't talk about it enough. The Albanian ones, like the way they moved and how much they help the families, but then also how much they're in pain because they want to be close to their loved ones. Who doesn't want to be close to their loved ones?
Sure.
So they're not brave enough to open up about these things as well, because, you have to be the masculinity. It's like, oh, you have to be strong. Strong man can cry too, for God's sakes,
The strongest.
Exactly. You're strong. Crying doesn't make you weak. For God's sakes, allora. Ma che cazzo? The Italian in me.
I was just going to say, now I know what that means. So that's Italian.
I was looking Skip when I said that. I was like, allora, sit down.
Oh, Skip looks thrilled right now.
I know.
His Italian American is showing. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I'm going to touch them, and like they're going to be touched in a way, because they're going to be seen.
Yeah.
They're going to feel important, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, actually this is true. Because sometimes people are afraid. And, for me, it's like, I lived in a dark place, and I was living a lie, and in silence. And there are so many people out there who they choose to live in silence and hide their pain. And that leads to the worst,
Yeah.
People choose to take their own life. And that's just so sad. And we lost so many people in our lives. And I just want to end this, man. Like, that's not the right way to do it. And I feel like every soul in this world, we need them, Every person in this world, it's a puzzle to this life. And if we miss them, then the world is getting messed up, and we need to end this. And I'm going to try my best. Like, my music and my whole journey, it's dedicated to people, in the best way possible.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it so much. Will you sing us a little bit more, please, of Prap Dielli? Will you give us a little of the chorus?
Yes. Connect free knowledge. E trupim dridhet, lotish për shërmje mu faqes, ku nona thot jetës nuk I dihet. Shumë herë kom dal prej vetes ja kom pos frikën, kur dita m'gjaj ke si nota, notës që ma mur dritën, prap Dielli det.
Oh, so beautiful.
Thank you.
So beautiful. So Kimi and I will be documenting our work together in Albania. We have rehearsals with an orchestra and staging and all sorts of things, all sorts of fun work to do.
That's about
and then
right.
I will be doing the behind the scenes vocal coaching as we get ready for the festival. It's 4 days, right?
It's going to be 4 days, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Of December.
20th is the finale.
20th of December is the finale. I will post links to the show notes of where you can listen to Prap Dielli and where you can follow Kimi and get in touch with him and kind of root him along on this journey. Thank you so much for being here today. You know I love you. I mean,
I love you too.
I'm such a fan, and I feel like we get along so well because we are so people first and people focused. So yeah, this is going to be an amazing journey, literally, to take with you.
It is.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
Would you mind if I add this, please?
Go ahead.
Because you were talking about freedom, and if I am there now, I have to add this because I think like I own it to you. Because remember when I walked in for the first time here in the studio?
Yes.
I said to myself, as soon as Skip and you started talking and everything, I was like so excited. And like, I was like, finally, I found the people I can be free with.
Mm.
And I can work in my own art in the best way possible as I can. And it was like just no judgments, opinions free, you know, like this room is just my home, you know? So yes, I want to finish with this line. You guys are amazing, and thank you for having me in to be part of this journey. It's just such an amazing thing, man. I appreciate you, you know. Thank you, and I love you too. I love you, Skip. Allora. I'm gonna bring you some cebab and some flea from Albania.
Thank you all for listening to Chartlist today. This has been a very special edition of the Chartlist podcast. I am Melissa Mulligan. For more information on how to get in touch with me, please visit mastermindroad.com. Love you all.
Yay.